The road to Gori, unstable and blocked by Russian tanks, now in their second day of occupation, 3 days after the Kremlin called a stop. And this is what it's like living under their watch. Russians were meant to be doing joint patrols with Georgians, but they stopped and searched a civilian car this morning. They found a weapon in the car, but the driver on the floor insists it's not his. "Take off your shirt and shoes," they shout. "I didn't shoot anyone," he insists. These Russian tactics very worrying here. They're conducted by troops from Chechnya, where just 6 years ago hundreds of civilians disappeared during military sweeps. Today these 3 Georgians were driven away. They're not as tough on everyone. Here a gunman, most likely part of a militia from South Ossetia, robs a cameraman. He points his gun at somebody filming. "Give me your camera, you idiot, or I'll kill you," he says. There's a shot over his head, and the cameraman falls to the ground. This scene on the volatile road to Gori happened under the noses of Russian troops. The United Nations were held at gunpoint, and a Canadian TV crew was carjacked. The Russian army completely unperturbed. Russians exhausted, some talking of heavy losses, but not in this unit.
"I don't know, but we didn't lose anyone."
"I didn't come here on holiday, but if I had, I'd have liked it."
This Russian soldier was for some reason in Georgian uniform, born just across the border.
For me, I am of course sorry for all this.
But later there was the sound of gunfire, and the Russians seemed to be shelling the hill nearby. Well, both the Georgian and Russian troops are here, and they appear to be getting closer all the time. It is still incredibly unstable, so despite on this day there seeming to be a calm between both sides, we've just heard shelling on the hill behind me, so this region is still very much in flux. Scattered around the hills, and here, hiding in a forest, Georgians who fled roaming bands of gunmen. They came for the village near Gori of Karaleti that was yesterday almost completely burned.
All of the houses around mine were destroyed, and 3 of my neighbours were killed in 6 hours.
Feeling completely unprotected and sleeping on the bus that they fled in or just under the sky. This woman yesterday fled the bombing.
"I managed to escape with my grandchildren, but I don't know where my children are."
Stories of kidnapping, looting, and those who resisted the marauding South Ossetian gunmen were killed. Forgiveness and peace here, seemingly ever harder to find. Adding to this maelstrom, the presence today of 2 American aircraft on Georgian soil. Washington said it's just humanitarian aid for a beleaguered population, but Russian generals were quick to hint they might be bringing some sort of military help. Washington insisted today there'll be no new Cold War, no military intervention, but that won't stop Moscow seeing red when Condoleezza Rice arrives in Tbilisi tomorrow. Nick Payton-Walsh, Channel 4 News, Gori.